grew up on a small farm in western Minnesota, hunting and fishing. My grandpa went fishing, my father went fishing, I went fishing, my son was in the boat, my nephews were in the boat, my cousins were in the next boat, and we all went fishing. Now, we didn't all necessarily catch fish, but some of us caught fish. We came back to the picnic area, we cleaned them. My mom and my wife and all of the relatives brought potato salad. We were together as a family doing a family event. We don't have those anymore as much as we'd like to. And I actually had started hunting with my father walking along when I was 7 or 8. I'm an extreme hunter. I love to be up 13,000 feet, sleeping in one of those tents. I've been to Africa, I've been to South America, I've actually been to Kazakhstan and Azerbaijan, Turkey. I was in Kazakhstan, and we're up 12,000 feet in a snowstorm, and we're in this little tent that's a 2-man tent with 6 of us in this tent. And this guide is cooking tea, and it takes forever because we got high altitude. He's cooking tea, and we're eating bread as hard as rocks, and everybody's shaking. And I said, "Life is good." And the guy thought I was going to throw me out of the tent. I have the passion. I don't have a choice. I'd like to tell you, I wish I could shut the switch off. There's no switch. And so when people see that energy, people will trust you. And once you get that trust, and once you build that energy and give it away freely, you can see it in your audience. Good evening. I'm severely dyslexic. I read probably 3rd grade and can't spell. So all my life was not quite understanding where I was, what I was doing, until I started cooking. And cooking is a verbal, physical, it's doing, it's smelling, it's tasting, it uses all your senses. So I could do that. I didn't need necessarily to read a recipe card to be able to cook a great steak. I needed to be able to have the courage to try and fail. Over the years, I've had the privilege of doing literally hundreds and hundreds of cooking schools and seminars all over the country, all the way from New York to California, from Texas to actually in Canada. When you're cooking, what you do is you put your own sense of energy into it. And so with wild game, it's very difficult because wild game is low in fat. So it's harder to cook because if you cook the moisture out, you have nothing left. Game is the ultimate organic food. Now, through the internet, you can purchase wild game. As we all know, it's really low in fat. It's really good for you. It's probably one of the most healthy things you can eat because of low fat. People are really trying to get back to the real basics with it. So if you're worried about eating healthy, if you're worried about being a natural person, really take a look at getting into wild game because it's a nice alternative. Anybody who doesn't have wild game, these principles are very good for all domestic foods. Now, gourmet is subjective. I mean, it's just good food. We're not trying to teach you to be some sort of a culinary chef who's in a competition. We want you to cook good food with lots of fun, knowing that you have the right ingredients, the right equipment, and the right time. My goal is to be educational, to be entertaining, and to be able to let you have some of my passion I have for this cooking through watching me on television.